Already preserved food? Freeze drying may be the option you're missing. If you garden, can food, hunt, cook from scratch, or buy food in bulk, you already know the problem. Good food can suddenly become too much food. Your garden gives you more tomatoes, berries, herbs, zucchini, or peppers than you can use at once. You catch a great sale. You make a big meal. You bring home meat from a hunt. Or you buy ingredients with good intentions, only to watch some of them go to waste. And when that happens, most people reach for the preservation methods they already know. They freeze it. They can it. They dehydrate it. Those are all valuable methods, but there may be another food preservation option worth understanding: freeze drying. Freeze drying does not replace canning, freezing, or dehydrating. It simply gives you another option. In the next few minutes, I want to show you where that option can fit and give you 3 questions to help you decide whether it is even relevant to your life. Here is one practical thing I want you to remember, whether you ever own a freeze dryer or not. Do not start by looking at a machine. Start by looking at your food. Freeze drying removes water from frozen food. When food is properly freeze-dried and packaged, it can be shelf-stable instead of taking up freezer space. It also creates a very different finished product than canning, freezing, or dehydrating. That does not automatically mean it is right for everyone. It simply means it may solve a food problem you already have. Question 1. What food goes bad before you can use it? Think about the food that makes you say, "I meant to use that." What gets forgotten in the refrigerator? What ripens all at once? What comes home in bulk but does not get used quickly enough? What leftovers end up getting tossed? Maybe it is berries, fresh herbs, garden tomatoes, peppers, milk, eggs, meat, or that big pot of soup your family enjoyed once but never finished. Start there. The food that keeps going bad before you can use it may tell you more than a machine comparison ever will. Question 2. What food do I already preserve but wish I could preserve differently? If you already can, freeze, or dehydrate food, this is the better question to ask. What foods do I wish I could handle another way? Maybe your freezer is always packed. Maybe you love canning but do not want every food stored in jars. Maybe you dehydrate certain foods but would prefer a different finished result for some of them. This is not about declaring one preservation method better than another. Each method has a job. Freeze drying is simply another tool to understand, especially when you want food that is lightweight, shelf-stable when properly packaged, and easy to keep on hand without using freezer space. Question 3. Would this actually fit my life? Freeze drying is interesting, but interesting is not enough. Ask yourself, what would I actually preserve? Would my household eat it? Would it help with food waste, garden harvests, bulk buying, preparedness, convenient meals, or ingredients I use often? And would the time, cost, space, and work make sense for my household? That is when freeze drying moves from, "Wow, that is cool," to, "Wait, I can actually see where this might fit." You do not need to decide whether to buy anything yet. You are simply deciding whether this preservation method deserves a place on your radar. And if freeze drying is completely new to you, I have a free beginner guide called "What is Freeze Drying All About?" It explains the basics in plain language, shows where freeze drying can fit alongside canning, freezing, and dehydrating, and helps you decide whether it is worth exploring further. Comment pantry below, and I will get it to you. No email required, no strings attached. Because the first question is not, should I buy a freeze dryer? The first question is, could freeze drying solve a food problem I already have?